All right, now we're live.
Awesome. What's up, guys? Shawn Bowen, Full Circle Investment Group and wholesalingoutofthebox.com. We're back at it again for another lunchtime live. And we're really looking to talk with you guys today about rehab estimating, what that looks like for rentals, or if you're estimating for a fix and flip, so that you can, ultimately make an offer to your seller. So, guys, I really appreciate you joining us today. Got on here a little late today, and we're going to have to jump off right at 1 o'clock. So, going to be a little bit shorter one today. But if you guys are coming on here and you're watching us live, Ashley will put a link in here. Make sure you click on that link so you can join us. And also click on that so that Facebook will allow you to leave your comments for later on. We can see those, and then other people can see who left them and hopefully help answer you and reach out to you later. But today we're talking about rehabbing estimating, right? And what's that look like and how do we do it? So I always talk about doing a virtual walkthrough of the property, just like you would if you're doing a physical walkthrough of the property. And that would always be from, just like you're walking up at the house exterior, looking at the roof, and then you're looking around the backyard, the side of the house, and then, working your way down. And then you're looking at siding, and then you're looking at windows, and you're looking at foundation. And then you want to walk your way into the home like you're walking into like a physical home, right? And then talk about other big ticket items. So remember, this entire process is to be able to get close to a rehab number so that you can make an offer to your seller, at least start to be able to talk about that without having to go to the property physically to start with. If you're talking with a seller at $100,000 difference, is that really worth going to an appointment? I usually say that in between 20 to 30 grand, if you guys are in between that offer, that's when you should be going. But hopefully doing that virtual walkthrough, asking a few of those questions, gets to specific numbers. So again, you're talking about, roof and what it costs, breaking that down. So let's say for a roof that's 1,500 square feet and under, you're going to go one layer off, one layer on. Let's say you're putting back 30-year architectural shingles, roughly $6,000, right? And then if you're working into siding or windows, let's start with windows. Let's say you count every window that's not vinyl, double hung, or single hung that needs to be replaced. Say that's $250. And guys, keep in mind here that these numbers we're talking about are labor and materials, so it's a turnkey number. All right. So again, big ticket items to help you get to the ultimate number, which is I'm within 5 or 10 grand of what a rehab budget would probably be on that property, so that you can make that offer. If you're looking at $250 a window and you're counting the windows on a single story, you're most likely going to be between 10. And if you're in a 2-story, you're probably between 14. Play with that because it's been doing it for a few years and it usually works out that way. But this is the kind of numbers we're talking about. Now, if you're looking at a rental situation, obviously a roof and the window is a simple cost because that's just what it normally is, right? But what if you start talking about interior stuff and you start talking about like kitchens and baths and flooring? Well, most of our kitchens we're looking at like roughly 10 grand, where you're going to say you're going to gut it and go back with a full brand new kitchen, granite, level 1, granite with soft closed doors and drawers, right? And your stainless steel package. But what if you're just doing it rental grade, right? Rental grade, you're probably not going to be at that number. So for quick and ease, just go half of the number, right? Maybe you're not going to gut the whole thing and you're just going to go in and update things, paint and replace a few things, but it's not going to be a $10,000, HD TV ready kitchen. So I say just go half. Right. And it keeps you close to your numbers. And then, if you're talking about bathrooms, what does a bathroom cost to completely go through, put it back together? I mean, gut it, like go back to drywall. You're ripping out everything, vanity, commode, the tub, the 3 tile sides if it has them. What if you got the old bathrooms that are like the pink and purple? Those are 1970s and 80s, right? So that's got to go and update with the new stuff. So that's usually $5,000. But if you're going into a rental situation, you probably don't need to do that. So then why not half that cost? So these are the kind of numbers we're talking about, guys, to ultimately be able to help you get closer to a budget number that you can make an offer to the seller, right? So guys, been on here for a few minutes. If you're just joining us, leave a comment for us over here. Tell us where you're coming in at, where you're seeing us from. Thank you so much for stopping by and listening, or if you're watching the replay later, thanks for hanging out, and definitely leave us a comment. Getting this whole podcast up and these lunchtime lives has been fun. I'm enjoying it. I've had a lot of people start to reach out because of them and say that it's helping. So I'm really enjoying that. So guys, leave us a comment. Let us know where you're from. If you can hear us, make sure these fancy mics and recording equipment's all working. But yeah, let's get back at it. If Ashley's, you guys can see the link there. Ashley's got a link for you. You can jump in and join us if you got questions, and try to help you answer those. To finish this out, rental rehab versus, fix and flip rehab. I think that obviously it's a substantial difference when you see those costs, but you need to know those numbers in order to be able to make your seller an offer and make them a real offer. You don't want to go waste your time, much less theirs, but how can you make an offer if you don't know these numbers? And knowing these takes a little bit of time, but you don't need to spend a lot of time or years for getting into big, crazy stuff, right? Like, you don't need to go into a contractor coming and giving you quotes. You ain't got to wait for multiple quotes, right? So the one thing I would highly suggest is if you can join us tomorrow, Ashley will have the link here where you can check us out, and we do a property walkthrough that we go through these numbers and we teach you what that looks like, how to estimate it, right? We'll send you an Excel sheet that you can use, and then you can add your numbers in and use it on your phone. If you want to go old school and print it out and walk through with it, you can do that too. But this is a 2-hour hangout that we do, that we go through and talk about all these numbers and why. Where do you find the condenser for the HVAC? Where is the handler for the HVAC? What kind of floors are we talking about that are going in when you do new floors? What kind of electrical updating is expected? What to expect, and what does that look like and cost-wise? And then kitchens and baths, what kind of materials are used that you can get these quick numbers and use them so that you can truly formulate an offer. And the idea there is that you back into your number based on you're within $5,000 to $10,000 of a true rehab budget to make that offer, right? Like, this is not a condensed rehab model budget. Like, that's very, very defined. Specific flooring, the price, the SKU number, the paint, the SKU number, right? How many lineal feet of board you need for baseboard, quarter round. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. So as a wholesaler and putting that together, that model, even if you're trying to, lock up a rental property or you're trying to lock up a fix and flip, that's something you need to know, right? But you need to be able to get close enough to that number to make the offer. And if you check us out at wholesalingoutofthebox.com, go to the events tab, and you can check us out there and sign up and get your ticket. This is virtual for now, and then we can also do this local we'll be doing them local here soon. We have it coming up tomorrow, so I will be on site live doing this from a Zoom link where you can get that link and join us. And then you'll be sent the paperwork that shows you how to, the numbers that we're going to go through and talking while we're doing that. And we're very interactive for it, guys. Very, very interactive. And we want to make sure you guys, one thing I will say is that every single person has walked through these events and come to join them, have walked away and all said the same thing. Massive helpful, really catch them up to speed for what things cost, and a lot simpler than most people make it, right? It's not that hard. And that's what this, 2-hour meeting is for. We go through, we walk you through, we explain the numbers, we explain what you're looking for. And then that way, at the end of it, we do a virtual walkthrough with you, and even on live, if you're on site, we let you build your rehab number, right? And then we do like a mock auction and go around the room and see how close everybody got from what they just learned in the first hour to be able to make an offer and feel what that feels like, right? So it's like being in a room full of wholesalers or rehabbers that want to, buy a deal, or buyers. And did you get your number right? And then what fee did you make on the other end of that? So we got a few questions over here, a few things. Thanks for having the sessions. Awesome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for being here. New rehab buyer from Mechanicsville, Virginia. Awesome. That's cool. That's not too far away from us. I'm from Richmond. For those of you who are trying to enter the business, what are the first steps to do so? Where should I start? I'm not sure if that person is still here, but would love a little bit more definition. I can't see if your name, guys, if you join and let Facebook through that link that Ashley's got there when you guys signed on with us, it'll tell us who's asking, and I can try to answer you. The walkthrough is great information. Been to a live one and a virtual one's awesome. Thank you. It's awesome feedback. What taught me in VA works up here in Massachusetts too. Awesome. So yeah, guys, this is not we're not creating the new wheel here. This is just defining something that's very easy put together. It's very easy to learn. But it's just one of those big ticket items that you need to take the time to learn and just keep using it so that you can actually make an offer. And it saves tons of time to where you're not having to hire contractors and wait for contractors and cancel on you and all that kind of stuff, to where you can actually have a real conversation with a seller and focus on why the seller's selling versus, what a bathroom's a bathroom. It's got to get redone. It's got to get redone, right? It's this number. Kitchen's this number. That's it. You don't need to go through and define so many specific things, because ultimately you as a wholesaler is going to need to have a base or a big ticket number in order to work into your offer. And that's probably one of the main things I see there. So let's see what we got going on here. Walkthrough was great. And then, we got Brendan in here.
Yeah, I was about to say we have someone.
Oh, nice. Bring him on. What's up? There he is. We got to get your mic working.
What's up?
There he is. What's up, man? How are you?
Not bad, not bad.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on here. Were you the one talking about Massachusetts?
Yes, sir.
Nice. So I guess, for a quick hot second, let everybody know kind of what these walkthroughs did for you, what you learned, and just tell what's going on.
It's really not rocket science. You were looking for big ticket items, and then you're just going to tack on a few more, raise to the nearest 10,000 or whatever. And that's basically it. I mean, you know what to look for. You're looking for the electrical boxes, like you said, big ticket items. So
yeah, so it's not really hard, right? The walkthrough, or kind of walk me through it with how you learned with us, taking you from exterior, from roof to windows to siding to foundation and landscaping, and then walking through and saying, okay, kitchen, bath, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, floors, paint. Yep. And by that number, I mean, you pretty much are within your budget of.
Yeah, because you're super conservative with those numbers too. So
yeah. Okay.
And when you're looking at ARV too, same thing. You can get a range, but you always want to kind of undershoot on the ARV, overshoot on the budget, and you'll have no trouble unloading it.
So would you recommend people that either check us out and get a ticket to see this thing live and or virtual, because do you think it would help?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
I can tell you. So, I mean, my history. I did it for about 4 or 5 months with you and couldn't close a deal, and I kind of gave up, put it on the back burner, and then I started again in August of last year and closed my first deal in December for $15,000. But here's where it's consistent. It took 6 months, but at the end of this month, I'll be closing a $25,000 deal. And I'm going to look at one on Saturday to hopefully lock up and make another 25, 30 on that one.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
I'm kind of in a good position because I'm a realtor too, so I have a lot of cash buyers in my office that are begging me for deals. Yeah. So I'll bring them the deal before I even have it locked up, and I'll tell them, hey, what would you pay for this? And they'll tell me straight up what they're willing to pay. And then I, like you were saying before, you just back up into your number, and you got to lock it up, and you're going to get that spread.
Hell yeah.
So, I mean, that's the best of both worlds. And I know that when I was working with you, you were saying that's obviously the ideal way to go, but it could be dangerous because you can get cut out of the middle. But I have that relationship, obviously, with my colleagues where we have that understanding they're not going to do that. And they have no incentive to do that because it's just going to ruin any future deals that I'm going to get for them.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Making that relationship, keeping that relationship, and everybody makes money.
Exactly. That's exactly it. The one that I'm making $25,000 on, we're going to be closing on the 26th. They're actually, so I got it for 80. They we have a PNS for 105, but they're turning around and selling it for 130 as it is. So that was a good lesson learned where I kind of short-ended myself. So now I know, because I built like a little spreadsheet for myself where I put in the reno, I have the cost of money, closing costs, everything in there, and I was basing it off the cost of my money, which is 10%.
Yep.
But now I know, based on what they're selling it for, I can just run my numbers as if they're paying cash with no interest, and I can tack on like the $30,000 spread that the end buyer is looking to make.
Hell yeah.
So now for the future, like on this next one that I'm getting, I know that I'm not going to short end myself.
Nice. Dude, it's so awesome to see. Like, I love to hear guys come back after they've worked with us for a little bit, and then they get back on the horse and they do a deal. You know what I mean? Like, I tell
like anyone out there, like it's not overnight success. And I'm en route this month where I could potentially, if I lock up this deal on Saturday, I'm going to have a $65,000 month.
Nice.
Between my 2 wholesales and my real estate. But
Nice.
it's not 65,000 in 1 month. This has been since August in the making, just filling the pipeline. And even though I wasn't getting any leads, I kept on mailing and working my other streams of marketing, and it's finally starting to land.
Hell yeah.
You can't get discouraged. You got to keep going. This isn't a get rich quick. It's get rich eventually.
Nice.
So
that's awesome, man. It's so cool to hear that you're doing good. I love it. And that was here, and then like you went up there and it's still working, right? Like
same principle.
Awesome.
Nothing changes.
That's awesome,
Nothing
man.
changes. So
well, thanks for jumping on here. Appreciate you talking to these guys, and let them know and keep us in the loop. Let us know what's going on, man.
Will do, man.
All right. Talk to you soon. Later.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So guys, just another person we've worked with. If you guys had hung out here for a little bit and watched, that is awesome. He was here for a little while and then left, and now he's, still doing it and still working at it and doing deals. So awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. Well, guys, we're right here towards the end. I appreciate everybody jumping in here. Remember, if you're watching this replay, these events can be done virtually and these events can be done locally. So please check us out at wholesalingoutofthebox.com. Go to the tools section or the event section, I think is where it's at, and sign up. And let's get you in there and get you to learn what these little pieces are that you need to know in order to do this business, and take that off of your plate as a problem, right? And not having to go through some crazy boot camp to learn it, because it's not that hard and it doesn't need to be so crazy. So again, guys, thank you so much for being here. Always looking forward to doing these lunchtime lives with you. Check us out on the podcast. There's always good stuff over there and other talks we've had with different shows. Fortunately, we had Brandon come on here and talk with us today, so that was really fun. But again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Later.